Welcome to Long COVID Radical Self-Care, where I provide simple, non-medical tips and tools to help you on your healing journey. Today I want to talk about listening to your body to heal and why and how to do that. I lived the first part of my life as though my body was something to be dominated, to be conquered. Sleep deprivation was conquered with coffee. Hunger was conquered with fast food. Pain was conquered with medication or just ignored. I'm not the only person who's done that. Many people drive their bodies like they drive rental cars, hard, fast, and rather carelessly. But our bodies aren't rental cars we can turn in at the end of the day for a new one. We each get one body to last a lifetime. And like a good car, if we take good care of it, it will take good care of us. Often it takes a serious illness before we finally give our bodies the attention and respect they deserve. And let's face it, many people don't even do it then. They know what their body wants or needs and do the opposite anyway. Actually, I think we're all guilty of that once in a while. There's an old Cherokee proverb that says something like, if you listen to your body when it whispers, you won't need to hear it scream. When I first got long COVID, my body was screaming. Now it's just talking a little loud. The body has an incredible ability to heal, and we've all experienced it in our lives, whether we've paid attention or not. Have you ever observed a cut heal over a period of several days? I mean, really observed it? It's quite amazing when you take a moment to think about all the processes that take place to heal that little cut. Within seconds of the injury, red blood cells rush in with collagen, which are fibers that block the bleeding and form the foundation for new tissues. White blood cells also rush to the injury site to protect the wound and fight infection. Then the wound starts to fill in with new tissue. Then new skin begins to form over this tissue. A scab forms. As the wound heals, the edges pull inward and the wound gets smaller and smaller. Eventually, the scab falls off and new skin is revealed, often without any scar or any sign that the wound was even there. It's quite miraculous when you think about the many functions, processes, and perfect coordination that's required in the body to make all that happen. That's only one simple example of the many, many ways in which the body works to heal injury or illness. But in order for these brilliant processes to work, the body often needs a little cooperation from the host, meaning you or I. If you have a cut, you probably know to clean it, to keep the dirt out of it, maybe put on a Band-Aid to reduce the chance of infection. When you have a cold or flu, you know to drink lots of fluids. If your stomach is nauseous, you know to avoid food and give your digestive system a while to recover. The examples I've mentioned so far are common injuries and ailments, and for those situations, it's common knowledge what you can do to help your body heal. But what about conditions like long COVID that are more complex, conditions for which we don't have clear instructions that promote healing? That's when it becomes even more critical to listen to the body. Our bodies speak to us constantly. They tell us what they need to get healthy and stay healthy and what to avoid. Your body speaks to you in the only way it can, using pain, fatigue, nausea, and other symptoms to alert you to something that needs your attention. Your body is not tired for no reason. It's trying to tell you something. Listen to it to find out whether it needs less activity, more activity, better food, or something else. And yes, sometimes more activity makes you less tired. Author Miguel Ruiz said, "Go inside and listen to your body because your body will never lie to you. Your mind will play tricks, but the way you feel in your heart, in your gut, is the truth." Listening to your body is something only you can do. Renowned mindfulness teacher Jon Kabat-Zinn said, "No one can listen to your body for you. To grow and heal, you have to take responsibility for listening to it yourself." Dr. Kabat-Zinn's mindfulness program played a major role in my recovery from fibromyalgia, and I believe it's playing a big role in my recovery from long COVID. I was part of a research project studying the impact of mindfulness on chronic pain. My experience was a bit of an outlier, and I want to share it with you because I learned something that I think could be helpful to you. The study involved an 8-week mindfulness course in patients with moderate or severe chronic pain. As part of the research study, our pain levels were assessed at the beginning and at the end of the 8-week program. What was interesting was that unlike most of the other students, my pain levels were higher at the end of the 8 weeks than they were at the beginning. My injuries had not changed, of course, but my perception of my pain was much higher. It surprised me. The mindfulness practice had reduced pain levels for most of the other participants, and yet mine was higher. Was mindfulness counterproductive? No. What I eventually came to understand was that I had become very adept over the years at ignoring the needs and signals of my body. It was like turning the volume on the radio down to 1 where you can barely hear it. When I practiced mindfulness, I was turning up the volume, and the sound, or in my case the pain signals, became much louder. The signals were always there, just like the radio station is always broadcasting. I just wasn't paying attention. If you were listening to the news for the first time in a long time, you'd be getting lots of new information. That's what happened to me when I started practicing mindfulness and listening to my body. Imagine for a moment a child who has lots of thoughts and ideas and opinions that they're excited to share. When I was a kid, we'd call that person a little chatterbox. What if that child was always told to stay quiet or keep their opinion to themselves? They'd probably learn to be pretty quiet. But what if one day someone was finally ready to listen and the child was suddenly encouraged to share everything they knew, what they think, their ideas, their opinions? That child might have a lot of pent-up things to say, right? It's the same with our bodies if we haven't been listening. There may be a lot of pent-up pain or symptoms that need to be acknowledged in order to be resolved. And that's what I learned to do. I learned to listen to my body. I gave it more of what it asked for when it asked for it. It guided me toward the right food, rest, treatment, and exercise. When I gave it what it needed, it gave me in return what I needed, which was more energy, more strength, more flexibility, and less pain. Sometimes it involved a bit of negotiation, but mostly I listened and obeyed. And it worked. I put my body in the driver's seat and stopped trying to conquer it or control it. I let the wisdom of my body guide me to healing, and it took me to better health than I'd ever experienced in my life. So how do you better connect with your body's wisdom? I practice a simple 3-step process. It's really easy to remember. When you were a child learning to cross the street, do you remember what your parents taught you? Stop, look, listen. Those are the 3 same steps required to connect with your body. First, you stop. You cut out all the distractions and find a quiet place. The second step is to look, not outwardly, but inward. You don't have to close your eyes, but it can help you focus. Mentally scan your body really slowly from your toes to your ankles to your shins to your knees, all the way up to the crown of your head. Notice any sensations. Does it hurt? Does it tingle, itch? If there's pain, look closer. Is it burning, stabbing, throbbing, aching? Is it constant or fleeting or intermittent? The third step is to listen. Does that pain have anything to tell you? Is there anything your body would like you to do to promote healing? Do you get a feeling it would benefit from a hot pack or a cold pack? Do your feet need to be elevated? Do you need more rest or more movement? Do you need a different pillow on your chair for support? Just listen. When we connect with our body, we often come to realize that we haven't treated it very well. And in some cases, we've been quite abusive, or at least neglectful. This is your chance to make peace with your body, to listen to what it needs from you in order to heal and to perform at its very best. Stop, look, listen. That's the process. I recommend you start by taking a few minutes each morning and each evening while you're in bed to do the exercise. And do it any other time of the day you can find a few moments. Don't be surprised if your symptoms talk a little louder for a while. They just want to be heard. I I found that as I pay attention and give my body what it needs to heal, my symptoms gradually disappear. When I talk about listening to the body, I'm really talking about looking after yourself from the inside out, letting your body take the lead and bring you back to perfect health. Remember the miracle of the cut healing. Unleash that same healing wisdom to recover from long COVID. Thanks for joining me. If you found this episode helpful, please take a minute to click the like button and subscribe or leave a comment. It'll really help me get this message out to other people who could benefit from it. I'll see you again next week. Until then, be kind to yourself and each other.